We deeply thank her for agreeing to be part of this conference despite her very busy schedule. Dr. Alka Mittal, CMD ONGC Limited, is the first woman to head one of the largest PSUs in India and an admirable example of women empowerment to all women at different walks of life. I now request our chairman, Sri Sharad Jaipuria ji, to extend green welcome to Dr. Alka Mittal.
Beautiful.
Thank you, sir. I request Dr. Alka Mittal to address the gathering.
Thank you, Dr. Shubha, for sharing my concern with all the participants and the esteemed dignitaries. Actually, I would have loved to be here with all of you instead of going to the parliament and facing a group of parliamentarians who are going to be talking about the budget that is going to be set aside for the oil and gas sector. Not that it is something which is of less importance, and not that they are of less importance, but being with the such esteemed personnel and with the youth is something which is very close to my heart. So very warm greetings to all the esteemed dignitaries and the young people who have joined from across different parts of, I am told from different parts of the world they are there. So let us hope the session today is going to be very enriching and rewarding for all those who are able to sit through the whole thing. And while wishing a very good morning and hoping that the session is good, I would like to specially acknowledge the presence of Mr. Sharad Jaipuria, who's here, the chairman of the Jaipuria group. Wonderful thing you have done, sir, that you have got into the field of education where we are creating the future of our country, and the youth are getting an avenue to further get themselves skilled and get their knowledge enhanced. So what can be better than this? And Mr. Prabhat Pankaj, I really thank you for having me on board, for the way you have facilitated each and every step of my being here with all of you. So, Mr. Rajan, I've heard about you. It's such a pleasure to see you, and I'm sure the youth will be able to identify so very well with you. So, you have accomplished so much in your lifetime. I'm sure you'll be having wonderful lessons. I'll look forward to seeing the recording of these sessions, because though I will be missing it, but I would not want to actually miss all of it. And Mr. Tushar Pradhan, who's here from HSBC Bank, my greetings to you too. And I can see Mr. Dr. Lokesh Vijay Vargia. So greetings to you, and Dr. Samar Sarabhai and Dr. Usha. I'm sure you must be part of the faculty and the team of Jaipuria Institute, besides being there in your own capacity. I'm glad to be part of the 9th International Conference for the Youth 2025 series on Envisioning India's Future by Jaipuria Institute of Management. I think this is what the country is talking about, and not only the country, the world is talking about it, because the future of the world is actually set by Indians. There are so many Indians doing wonderfully well in different parts of the world, and for India itself, this is our future, and I know that this is our strength, our innate strength, which the youth provide. So our youth is ready for the world, and it is vital that we have useful dialogues and engagements on this topic, because when we all together are interacting and the youth are a part of the discussions, that is when we will be able to take the youth and facilitate and support the youth in coming forward in the coming years. As leaders and seniors, I feel it is our responsibility to ensure that we are able to guide them. And the younger generations, they are themselves very motivated, very focused, and very responsible. Only when we are there to tell them that, okay, they are moving in the right direction, what happens, they they move forward with double commitment and double, I would say, their level of confidence goes higher, and that is what we are looking at. I have seen that in the sessions you have encapsulated all the important aspects of a desired future vision through the topic growth, innovation, sustainability, happiness, and well-being. Because however successful a person is, if the person is not happy, he is not having a very balanced life, he will never have that feeling of well-being, and I am sure he or she will not succeed as well at his endeavors as a person who is happy from within will feel. And being from the public sector, nation building, I feel, is inbuilt in our very deep in our organizational ethos. And while we are talking about nation building, we are also talking about how we as committed citizens are able to contribute not only towards the vision and mission of the organization, but also towards the socio-economic domain, and how we are able to work towards creating the communities around our workplace, where we contribute in different manners through our CSR. Earlier, I remember ONGC used to call it socio-economic development plan. I'm talking about the early 90s. There was no talk then of any mandatory CSR, but we were as committed towards development of the area where we were where we were in operations. As we were committed towards constructing infrastructure like road and schools, etc. We wanted the place to be a very developed, because we knew that if the community around us is developed, they will be able to not only they would be able to align with our aspirations, but they would also be able to be part of our growth story. And that is what we looked at. As a developing country with aspirations to become $5 trillion economy by 24-25, and US dollar 10 trillion by 2030, as the dreams are, the nation has to come together. The government, corporates, entrepreneurs, civil society, individuals, and collective, with lots of collective will and conviction. I have been seeing that the deliberations these days are on those lines, but only thing is we have to take it forward together. We can't work in isolation or in compartments and expect that we'll be able to arrive there one fine day. That doesn't happen. We all know that, we all have seen that. And ONGC, as India's national oil economy, has been through very tough times right from the inception, but we have, by inner grit of our workforce and the youth who are there with us, the kind of energy that is seen in our people is what keeps us going. And we have a very important role in the national project, I would say, of moving forward together as an economy. And what we also know is energy is vital for any developing economy. And with India being world's third largest energy consuming country, demand is only going to be increasing. So our task is absolutely cut out. While the world is talking about renewables and non-renewables, but we also know that non-renewables are going to continue to be our base for energy in our country in the coming times. And today, and while we are also making all efforts towards move into different domains of renewables, like we are planning to go for offshore wind near our offshore platforms. For that, a pilot is already conceived. But while we are doing this, we also know that we have to keep the oil flowing and gas also coming out of our wells, because that is going to sustain the economy's big push that we are trying to give. And for that, we have not only ensured that we continue to be an exploration and production company, we are also further diversifying. We are moving to in our value chain towards petrochem, refinery, LNG, power, renewables, in all the possible domains. And that is what is going to give us the future holistic growth which the world and which our country is looking out for, and which the world will see in the times to come. To give you a sense of our extraordinary journey over the years, let me share that Government of India promoted ONGC with an equity of 343 crores way back in 1959, and this was this equity was invested by the government during the period of 1959 to 81, and in return ONGC till date has contributed 10.5 lakh crore to the government through way of disinvestments, dividend payment, contribution to exchequer, subsidy, etc. So this is the way we have been trying to give back to the economy what was invested in our at the time of our very inception. But we also have seen over time that petroleum being one of the strategic sectors identified by the government, we have to be in synergy with the government in terms of working towards improved professionalization, enhanced autonomy is given to the PSUs. So we have to use this autonomy that is given to us. What we have seen when we were identified as a Maharatna and given lots of autonomy to operate in as global players, we took small steps in the beginning because we were not very confident that we would be able to compete in the international market, international arena. But what we saw slowly and steadily, we have gained in terms of confidence. Our overseas wing, ONGC Videsh Limited, is doing wonderfully well in the overseas E&P domain. And in India, within the country, we are continuing to maintain our lead. And that is what keeps us going. And apart from this, every industry, every organization has to be continuously reviewing their strategic role in the bigger picture. That is what we at ONGC have been doing. I remember when I joined way back in 85, we were talking about energy perspective 2010. And that was the time when we were talking about 35 years later and 25 years later. And today, when I am in the board of ONGC, we are talking about 2047, aligned with the aspirations of the nation. And we are looking at creating a strategic roadmap that takes us into account the demands of the time and the future scenario. And also, we are aligning ourselves with the sustainable development goals, because ultimately we are to increase production of oil and gas, but we are also to balance by going into non-conventionals and renewables as well, because we have to move towards a cleaner, safer globe and a planet. We have to leave a planet for the coming generations which is better in terms of environment, I would say. And not only in terms of environment, there are more socially responsible citizens, there are more initiatives undertaken for development, and that is what is going to take us forward towards a better future for all the youth who are there with us today and who are our demographic dividend we have to actually reap by creating the future for the young as we can. And as far as ONGC is concerned, while we are ensuring that the ESG parameters are kept in focus when we are having our growth plans, we are very, very focused in terms of making the best of the digital revolution that has happened over last 20 years. We were the first ones to take lead when it came to going for SAP for different processes and having an integrated platform for all our activities. And we were very, very comfortable in switching over to digital platforms when the COVID pandemic struck us, because we had all the documents flowing digitally. We did not have any files on our tables that time, and we did not have them since 2017. And that is how we were comfortable going digital, not only in terms of our systems. We also went digital with all our meetings, all our deliberations, all our connect with our people happening instantly. And we were continuously, during the phase of pandemic, we were in touch with our people. And the people in the field I am talking about, they are the ones who are our energy soldiers, and we were with them every possible moment we could be, because we were connected with them. And while we are talking about it, I would like to share that we keep talking about renewables. We keep talking about how every company talks about how and how much they are doing in the area of renewables. But certain path-breaking things, the initiatives that ONGC has undertaken are significant. And I would like to mention to you, we are setting up India's first geothermal power plant at Puga Valley in Ladakh. Tough domain, but we are very tough too. And we have taken it on. We have interacted. We are in constant collaboration with an organization from Iceland, and we are going to start the drilling of the first two wells in the Puga Valley in June onwards, because the season there, the open season over there is the weather window is from May to November. So that is the time when we will be making our presence felt in Ladakh. And this, we are, besides the people of Ladakh, we are doing it for the Indian Army too, because the kind of conditions the army is in that part is, I think everyone knows about it. And when I was just 2 days back, I was talking, the LG of Ladakh had invited me over. We were going to we had a meeting on the way forward in the Puga Valley. And what he said was that if you are able to create some geothermal thermal power base over there, the first thing I would like to do would be that geothermal heating facility for the Indian Army personnel who are there, who are actually in very tough conditions there, and this is the least we can do for them. So this is, I think, in brief of what we are doing as far as the operations are concerned. In the domain of CSR, we don't have any boundaries, we don't think in terms of this is our operational area, so we'll do something here. That is an area where we have to do, because we feel that it is our responsibility to do. But equally so, we feel that we need to work in the areas which are backward or which need support under CSR. And Jammu Kashmir is one such area where we contributed in terms of providing support to the Indian Army for creating skill development facilities. We have created a Super 30 concept. Super 30 for medical services, we have prepared 2 batches of girls and boys for taking on medical coaching. And these Super 30 centers are meant for the children of students of 12th class who get prepared for taking on the respective entrance exams for either medical or JEE for engineering. Now we are going to create a Super 30, Super 50 actually, for civil services also. So those from different I would say not so progressed areas, the young people who want to prepare, graduates who want to prepare for civil services, will be given an opportunity. And economic condition of the family is one of the selection criteria. Those who are not able to afford it are given more preference when we select them. So this is a way we are trying to make a difference. The contribution of ONGC in terms of in financial terms is significant, but I would also like to say that what the impact we are able to create on ground is what is important to us, and is what that keeps us going. And every time I visit a Super 30 center or a hospital that we have created in Assam, I feel that my being a part of ONGC has been worth it, because ultimately when we joined the company, we were wanting to serve the nation, and by serving the nation, we are talking about serving each and every citizen who is in need, who is in support. And by being here in this organization, we are able to fulfill our dreams and aspirations. And that is, with this, I think I can go on, but I have that meeting in the parliament from which I'm just 15 minutes away. Actually, because I had this session, so I traveled from my home to this place, which is a small makeshift office we have near the parliament in Connaught Place area. So I have, I think, come to the end of my talk. I can otherwise keep talking, but I would definitely wish all the best to all the uh, very accomplished personals and panelists who are here. I know the kind of content that is going to flow, and we have begun with Saraswati Puja, and I think that is most appropriate because lots of knowledge, wisdom, and wisdom-based experience, wisdom and knowledge-based experience will be freely available today during these sessions. I will just exhort all the young people, the students who have joined us, to make the most of it. And while you are joining these sessions digitally, try to form your own groups where you can have discussions on different issues, concerns which you feel are worth like pondering on or taking forward. So all the best to all, and all the best to the Jaipuria Institute for taking on this initiative and for taking this forward in a wonderful manner, as you have started it off very well.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thanks,
May I just request you to stay for 30 seconds and
Yes.
request our chairman, sir, to say a few words as a token of our appreciation and gratitude.
Since you have to leave, I would only like to thank you once again for your presence in spite of various commitments and addressing our students on the 9th International Conference of Jaipuria, Jaipur, and the series of Youth 2025. Ma'am, we are really proud of you for being the first woman CMD of the largest PSU of the country, ONGC. I am sure that all the women power will aspire to become like you. We look forward for more interaction with you in our educational endeavors. Thank you.